Good morning, dear faculty of the UP College of Medicine. Welcome to another webinar organized by the UPCM Faculty Committee. Join me, your host, Dr. Mary Rose Payan, and my co-host, Dr. Jerry M. Obaldo, as we tackle this important issue on UPCM faculty retirement, understanding the process, and how to maximize retirement benefits. To start the webinar, let us all call on the Chair of the UPCM Faculty Committee, Dr. Joycelyn Noemi I. Silao, to give the welcome remarks.
Good morning, colleagues in the College of Medicine. Welcome to the third webinar offering of the Faculty Committee. This morning's webinar touches on preparations for the process of retirement and how to maximize benefits. Hopefully, the information the speakers will impart would be insightful and would allow a smooth transition from academic life to your chosen life after retirement. Thank you for your presence. Please enjoy.
Before we proceed with our webinar, we invite you to join us in a moment of silence for the eternal repose of the mother of Dean Charlotte M. Chong, Geraldine Martinez Chong. Condolences to the Chong family. Now, let us please welcome the Chancellor of UP Manila, Chancellor Carmencita D. Padilla, to give her opening message.
I am not able to open my camera. If the organizer can just allow me to open my camera. It says you can't start your video because the host has stopped it. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat, and allow me first to welcome you all to this webinar for on retirement, and I would like to thank the organizing group for making this available to the faculty regardless of age. I'd like to start by saying that the retirement process should really start as soon as you get into the College of Medicine. As a retiree myself, I realized there were many things I did not understand as I was processing my retirement papers. And there were many things that I thought I fully understood even as an administrator. And again, I did not understand them. In the 9 years that VC Arlene Samaniego and I have been here in administration, we tried our very best to soften, to lighten the load on a retiring faculty member or staff. We are trying our very best also to solve the problem of the retiring of the faculty without any item. And maybe your group will not benefit from this, but eventually the subsequent generations will benefit from the work that we're doing right now. So this seminar is not only for those who are going to be retiring in the next 6 months or 1 year. I actually encourage all faculty members to understand their benefits, the things that they're taking for granted, because they will really count when you start your process for retirement. So I want to thank the people who are indeed retiring in the next 6 months. I see some faces here who are indeed retiring. And for those who are retiring the next couple of years, please do enjoy the remaining years with UP Manila and the College of Medicine. So once again, I thank everybody for this activity. And I look forward to listening also to the other speakers. And I'd like to listen to the sharing of former Director Jogan Gonzalez, because I think that will also enlighten us that hopefully we can solve all the issues that he will address. And hopefully the future retirees will not have the same experience. But do enjoy your stay in the college at this time. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat, and I'll stay with you until the end of this webinar. Salamat po. Back to you.
Thank you, Chancellor Padilla. We will now be starting with our webinar proper. We will be having 4 speakers today to help us understand the retirement process. If you have any questions for our speakers, please send them through the Q&A box or scan the QR code in the right lower corner of the screen. Our first speaker is an administrative officer of the Human Resources Development Office of UP Manila. Here to talk about the retirement process, please welcome Mr. Derek Dempsey V. Palacio.
So isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Derek James D. Palacio ng Leaves and Benefits Section ng Human Resource Development Office. At ako po ay narito upang discuss ang retirement benefits and privileges at ang kanilang mga requirements. So una sa lahat, nagpapasalamat po kami sa HRDO sa pag-invite sa amin para i-discuss ng mga bagay na ito. So ang presentation ko po ay nahati sa 3 bahagi. Una, ang benefits and privileges, pangalawang university clearance, pangatlong documentary requirements. So una, benefits and privileges. So meron po tayong terminal leave benefit. Ito po ang total accumulated leave credits natin. Yung money value nito based on the highest salary rate prior to upon retirement date or voluntary separation ng empleyado. So this benefit is granted to administrative personnel, research extension and professional staff or reps, and faculty administrators. So kung meron po tayong admin position, such as dean or department chairs, ay qualified po tayo for this benefit. So ang TLB ay computed as follows. The highest monthly salary received multiplied by the total ng accumulated vacation and sick leave credits and the constant factor of 0.048197. So yung constant factor po ay provided by the DBM. So sample computation po, an employee compulsorily retired in the service with 315 days accumulated vacation and sick leave credits with the high salary received at 36,619. So TLB is computed as follows. 36,619, which is the highest monthly salary received, 315 days in total accumulated BLSL, and the constant factor. So ang TLB niya is 617,668.97. Next is the faculty cumulative leave benefit. So it is an additional 15 days cumulative leave benefit per year of service granted to all regular full-time and faculty members from the date of original appointment, including the number of years for which a regular faculty member has been a substitute and or contractual or casual status prior to becoming a permanent regular full-time faculty, and also the period of extended service beyond 65 years of age. So faculty members on sabbatical leave are also entitled to this benefit. So kung nag-leave po tayo ng sabbatical for 1 year, counted pa rin po yung leave na yun, yung duration na yun sa years of service natin sa pag-compute ng benefit na ito. So faculty members who suffer from serious and severe illness as defined by PhilHealth may also avail of sick leave with pay charged to this benefit. So after exhaustion po ng 15 days ng cumulative sick leave benefits po natin, pwede po natin magamit ng faculty cumulative leave benefit para magkaroon po tayo ng sick leave with pay. So next, para doon sa mga faculty members who were employed by the university, the total number of years of service shall only include years of service rendered during their employment at the university. So kung meron po tayong gap in service, nag-transfer po tayo sa ibang institution, yung pagbabalik lamang po natin sa university ang i-count para sa benefit na ito. So the following shall be excluded in the computation of the FCLB. So pag regular part-time and non-regular faculty members tayo, ibabawas to sa FCLB. Pag faculty members who are on study leave without pay or vacation leave without pay, faculty members who are on secondment with other government and non-government agencies and institutions, and faculty members who are on additional assignment as administrator. So lahat po ito ay ibabawas sa years of service natin. So meron po, kung dati po tayong part-time, hindi po ito counted sa pag-compute ng FCLB. And kung tayo po ay walk dati, hindi rin po siya counted. Yung mga faculty administrators po natin, i-charge naman natin to. However, sa expanded service recognition pay, which is will be discussed later on. So FCLB shall be computed as follows. So highest monthly salary received multiplied by the constant factor, multiplied by the 15 days, and the number of years in service ng faculty. So as an example, ang faculty ay meron pong 42 years in service at ang kanyang salary, highest salary received is 74,762. So ganito po ang computation niya. So 74,762, yung highest salary received ng faculty, multiplied by 0.048197 times 15 days and the number of years of service, which is 42 years. So, ang FCLB niya ay 2,269,879.06 pesos. So, next is the Enhanced Service Recognition Pay. So, this ESRP is granted to administrative personnel and reps po. So, nagkaroon ko lang ng konti ito. As discussed earlier, faculty administrators are also entitled to ESRP in lieu of the FCLB during the years that they serve as administrator. So kung kahit yung extended natin service as administrator, i-count din sa ESRP. So dito ko na rin po itong portion na ito. So ang ESRP shall be computed as follows. ESRP equals monthly highest monthly salary received, the constant factor, times 15 days and times the number of years in service. So kagaya lang po siya ng FCLB natin. So ito po yung computation. Next is the salary increase 3 months prior to compulsory retirement. So as public health worker, we are entitled to one salary grade or higher than the PHW basic monthly salary. So 3 months prior to our retirement, compulsory retirement ay mag-increase po tayo ng 1 grade. So kung tayo po ay salary grade 29 step 8, upon 3 months before ng ating retirement date, ay maging salary grade 30 step 8 po tayo. At ito po ay magiging basis ng computation ng lahat ng ating benefits. So terminal leave, ESRP at FCLB. Next is GSI's retirement benefit, the Pag-ibig Provident Benefit, at yung UP Provident Fund natin, kung member po tayo, they refund ng 100% personal contributions and agency contributions. PhilHealth Lifetime Membership, so automatic naman po na kapag tayo senior, ay meron na po tayong PhilHealth. Next is tuition fee privilege. Dependents of retire may continue to avail of tuition fee discounts. Meron pa rin po tayong dependents, pwede pa rin po sila mag-avail ng tuition fee privilege or discount sa any constituent university ng ating university. Next is paggamit ng library facilities, ang pagpapacheck up sa UP Health Service, And lastly, yung PGH hospitalization discount, which is on top pa nung ating senior citizen discount, PhilHealth discount. And bago natin magamit yung PGH hospitalization discount for retirees. So next, university clearance. So we have one-stop clearance. So the one-stop clearance serves as the university clearance for compulsory retirees. It bears the information given by the following offices to the retirees in terms of money, property, and other accountabilities, including administrative case in the university. So itong one-stop clearance is a process na ginagawa ng HRDO upang i-assist ang ating mga compulsory retirees. So hindi na po maglalakad ng clearance ang mga compulsory retirees natin. So kami na po sa HRDO ang magpa-process ng inyong clearance sa mga offices na ito. So sa accounting clearance, sa accounting ng PGH Bayanihan Cooperative Clearance, the UP Credit Co-op, sa HR mismo, sa IMS, Legal Office, OWASH, Property and Supply Office ng PGH, SPMO, at Staff Housing and Business Corporate Clearance kung meron po tayong housing, like kung tayo po ay nag-avail ng housing sa UP Diliman, at ang unit clearance, at University Library Clearance, and OUR Clearance, Alumni Relations Clearance, and National Institutional Support. So, these offices are may accountabilities po tayo sa mga offices na ito. I-advise naman po kami na meron po kayong accountability at kami po ay makikipag-coordinate po sa inyo upang maayos po natin yung clearance. So, ang kadalasan po na meron po mga accountability ay may mga pending research sa NIH, meron po mga properties sa PGH, dito sa UP Manila. Bilang doktor po sa PGH, minsan meron po tayong mga properties na nabibigay ng PGH at hindi natin nasa solo. So, yun ang kadalasan na naging problema sa PGH property. Maging yung mga accountabilities natin sa accounting ng UPM at ng PGH kung meron po tayong overpayments or underpayments. So lastly po, mga documentary requirements. So, nire-require po namin kayo na mag-provide ng 2 copy ng bawat requirement na ito. So, una, letter of intent to retire, yung GSIS application for retirement, separation life insurance, application for pag-ibig provident, application for terminal leave benefits, application for UP Provident Benefit Claim, application for retirees UPID, online na po ito. So kapag ito po yung website nila. SALN, yung SALN form po natin, photocopy of 2 valid IDs with date of birth and 3 specimen signatures. Also except po ang UPID natin dito. PSA marriage contract for married woman, photocopy po lang ng declaration of pendency and non-pendency of case. So, ito po ay care of ng retiree. So, hintayin lang po natin na mag-notify po ang GSIS na approve na po ang ating benefit and tayo po ay magsasubmit po ng declaration of pendency or non-pendency of case sa GSIS office po. So, exit interview, severance recognition pay form for admin and reps, pati yung mga faculty administrator po natin. Faculty cumulative sick leave benefits form for faculty na may full-time position po sa atin. Authority to deduct for accounting. So, kung meron po tayong overpayments, so kailangan po natin ng authority to deduct kung gusto natin kung ipabawas sa ating mga benefits, yung mga accountabilities po natin. Next ay ang additional requirements for pag-ibig, yung certificate of last remittance in pag-ibig. So, care po ito ng accounting office and special power of attorney kung ipapadaan po natin sa ating liaison, si Sir Leo Gongora ng CPC po. Next is the certification of full-time part-time members of the faculty. So sa CM po kasi meron pong additional requirements ng GSIS. So kailangan po natin ng mag-submit ng mga ito para ma-process po ang ating GSIS benefits. So certification of full-time part-time members, certification declaring not connected or affiliated to other government agency, And yung service record po natin sa PGH, kailangan din po natin po para ma-include po sa pagbibilang ng ating years of service sa GSI's benefit. Next, po tayo po ay optional retiree, kailangan din po ng succession plan and certificate of last date service. So additional requirements for retirees with membership. Kung member po tayo ng bawat co-op po na ito, ang UP Credit Co-op, meron po silang affidavit po of undertaking, bayanihan, withdrawal of membership form. Sa bayanihan din po, ako din kung gusto naman po natin mag-continue ng ating membership, meron din po silang form para dito. Sa Provident Fund po, meron din pong withdrawal of membership form, bank authorization form. Kailangan po ng photocopy ng ating ATM kung ano man po ang gagamitin natin sa Provident Fund. Next, ito po yung mga sample forms. So, ito yung letter of intent to retire, application form, APB ng pag-ibig, application for terminal leave, so SALN, declaration of non-pendency, exit interview, and so on po. So lahat po ng mga forms na to ay downloadable sa HRDO website, and we are willing to assist you kung kailangan nyo po ng tulong sa pag-download at pag-print ng mga forms na ito. So that's the end of my presentation. Salamat po. Kung may mga tanong po kayo, feel free to ask po. You can email me directly sa dbpalacio@up.edu.ph or sa email address ng HRDO. Salamat po at isa magandang umaga po.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Palacio. If you have any questions for Mr. Palacio, please feel free to use the Q&A box or scan the QR code in the right lower corner of the screen. The open forum will start after the fourth speaker. Our second speaker is from the Government Service Insurance System, and she will be talking about the GSIS benefits of UPCM faculty retirees. Let us all please welcome Ms. Christine Deborah D. Cruz.
Good morning po. I-share ko lang po muna ang screen. Bago po muna pala ako magsimula, babatiin ko po muna kayo ng Happy National Heroes Day. So naniniwala po ako kayo po ang mga buhay na bayani. At maraming salamat po sa inyong serbisyo. Ako po pala si Christine Deborah Cruz. Ako po ang acting team leader ng GSIS NCR Department 2. May department po kasi kami dahil may loading po ng agencies na hawak-hawak namin per department. So nataon naman po sa amin po naka-assign ang UP Manila. So kaya ako po yung inassign nilang magbigay ng pre-retirement. Ito pong gagamitin ko ay ito po yung allowed na gamitin naming presentation para sa pre-retirement webinar, seminars. Pero dahil po limited yung time na nakaalat, at siguro yung iba na po ay sa open forum na lang i-discuss, pipiliin ko lang po yung para talaga sa mapapakinabangan ng retirees ang i-discuss natin. So tayo po ay may dalawang klase ng membership. So yung regular membership po at special membership. So yung special members, ito po yung mga nasa judiciary, yung may mga special laws para sa retirement nila, yung mga commissioners, mga constitutional commissioners, at kung ano pa pong ibang agency na meron sariling retirement benefit like yung mga prosecutors natin. So sila po ang special members, meron po silang contribution sa atin sa GSIS para sa life insurance lang. Pero ang retirement po nila ay separate, kaya sila po yung special. And wala na rin po sa atin ng military, tinanggal na po sa GSIS ang military. So hindi na po, totally hindi na po sila GSIS member. Ang regular members naman po natin, ito po yung mga government employees na mayroong fixed monthly compensation na nare-receive sa ating mga employers. So, dun po sa ating contribution, ito po siya, nahahati po siya sa dalawa. May personal at government share. So, yung dalawa pong yun, ito po ang tandaan natin. Ang pinupuntahan ng ating contribution ay para sa life insurance premium at para sa retirement premium. Kaya po ang member, whether nag-separate po sa service ng buhay or patay, meron pong dalawang benefit na nakukuha. So una po, sa life insurance, halimbawa po, si member ay nag-separate ng service, nag-retire or umalis dahil lilipat na ng ibang service, pwedeng private po or other government service. At meron po talaga siyang separation sa kanyang serbisyo nung time na yon. Ang kanya pong makiklaim, ito pong nasa kanan sa may green, no? Yung cash surrender value or termination value, depende po sa kung anong klaseng insurance ang meron siya. And then retirement po or separation benefit, depende po kung saan siya magko-qualify. So dalawa po. Kung may member naman po na namatay, ang makukuha niya po dahil may life insurance contribution po, meron pong death benefit claim. At meron naman pong dun sa kapalit po ng retirement contribution, meron pong survivorship benefit. So, dalawa po yung insurance na na-issue ng GSIS. Una po, yung kung naririnig ninyo yung tinatawag na CM policy, yung life endowment policy. Ito po yung policy na may maturity. So, kung na-issue ito sa mga government employees na pumasok sa service before August 1, 2003. So, possible po yung iba sa inyo nag-mature yung policy, nag-claim ng maturity benefit. So, paano po kung nag-mature ang policy prior August 1, 2003. Ang i-issue pa rin po is same LEP policy, yung CM policy, na may maturity rin po. Kaya pwede pong may member na may dalawang maturity benefit na makuha or kung hindi naman po umabot sa maturity date, ang pag-separate, during the time na nag-separate siya sa service, meron po siyang makukuhang cash surrender value. Para naman po sa mga government employees na pumasok after na po or on August 1, 2003, meron po tayong Enhanced Life Policy or LP Policy. Wala na po itong maturity benefit. So, continuous lang po ang ating insurance and then pag nag-separate po sa service, meron pong termination value na makukuha. And kung namatay naman po while in the service, meron pa rin pong death benefit. So, parehas po siyang may death benefit. Parehas pong may policy loan. Ang beneficiaries po, nag-vary lang po kasi sa CM po or yung policy issued prior August 1, 2003, meron po tayong dinedesignate doon. Kung naaalala nyo po, kung meron kayong nilagay doon na designated beneficiaries nyo. Kung wala po, ang hahanapin po namin ay legal heirs. Doon sa bago po nating policy or yung LEP policy, LP policy, automatic pa legal heirs po ang aming hinahanap. Tapos, sa death benefit po, ang ating pong LP policy, ito pong nasa pula, no? Mas mataas na po siya compared po dun sa dati. And sa ngayon po, nasa 95% na po ng members natin ang nandito sa policy na to. So, malamang po karamihan po sa inyo, LP policy na po ang meron kayo. Ngayon po pala, wala na tong contract na binibigay. So, baka iba po naghahanap, nagtatanong, asan yung contract ko? Wala ko nung parang insurance contract na in-issue katulad dati. Hindi na po nagbibigay ng ganon. Basta po, pagpasok po sa government service, naging member po ng GSIS, automatic po meron po tayong insurance, life insurance. Dividend, parehas po siyang may dividend. And then po yung termination value or cash surrender value, once po nag-separate, kung separation or retirement, ang member. Ito po yung mga naging retirement laws pero ang didiscuss na lang po natin yung RA 8291 dahil ito na rin po ang applicable sa atin sa ngayon. So meron pong dalawang option. Yung pong 5-year lump sum at saka yung immediate pension. So ang difference po niya ay yung 5-year lump sum, i-advance po natin. Pagka nag-file po ng retirement benefit, meron pong kukuning 60 months na katumbas ng pension. And then maghihintay po na matapos itong 5 years bago mag-monthly pension. Yung isa naman po, yung option 2, yung immediate pension, pagka-retire po, magka-count po tayo ng 18 months na katumbas ng kanyang pension. Ibibigay po yun as cash payment and then magsa-start po immediately yung pension niya monthly. So sino po ang eligible dito sa retirement benefit? Ang eligible po is yung at least may 15 years na total creditable service and at least 60 years old po nung nag-retire. So, ang computation po ng ating pension ay may formula po na nakalagay dun sa ating RA 8291 para po sa ating pension benefit. Ito po yung paulit-ulit ko dito sasabihin na yung BMP, AMC, PPP. So ang basis po natin ng computation ng pension is average monthly compensation for the last 3 years with paid premium. So last 36 months po, kailangan po makumpleto yung 36 months. So aatras po ng 36 months, i-average po yun. Yun po yung ating AMC. And then yung periods with paid premium, so yung pong mga contribution ng premiums na nabayad sa GSIS during nung kanyang membership. So using po itong formula, constant po yung 0.025 and then yung AMC plus 700 constant din po yung 700 and then times PPP. Meron lang po siyang cap, no, na hindi po mag-exceed ng 90% AMC yung ating pension. So sino po ang nakakaabot sa 90% maximum na pension? Ito po yung may mga 36 pataas na periods with paid premiums. So sample computation po, ito po. Dito po sa may kaliwa, sa may brown, may PPP po siya na less than 36 years. So using your formula po kanina, ang lumabas po na pension niya ay 27,516. So yun po yung magiging actual monthly pension niya. Meron po siyang PPP na 25.27 years. Sa kanan po yung green, ang periods with paid premiums po niya, ang PPP niya ay 37.91 years. So, ang AMC po niya na 90% ay 31. Kapag ginamit po ang formula ng BMP, ang magiging pension niya sana ay 33. Pero dahil po dun sa maximum pension natin na 90% lang ng AMC, ang magiging pension niya po is yung 90% ng AMC. Dahil nga po ito, naka 37.91 years ng paid premiums ang member na ito. Ito po yung side-by-side na comparison kung ano po yung mas maganda. Wala pong mas maganda para sa isa at hindi maganda para sa isa. Kung hindi, depende po ito dun sa magre-retire. So yung pag mathematically po, kinompute po natin siya. Lalabas po na mas malaki po yung nakuha nung at the end of the 5th year, mas malaki ang nakuha nung nag-option 2 or yung nag-18 months. Kasi meron po siyang 18 months na cash payment and then monthly na pension. Unlike po yung 5-year lump sum, kukumpitin lang po talaga yung pension niya for 5 years and yun po yung makukuha niya. Pero dun sa alin po yung mas maganda, depende nga po yun sa pangangailangan ng retirees. Meron po kasing mga nag-retire na nag-lump sum, no, dahil kailangan ng malaking halaga. So yung iba naman, enough na yung 18 months, sakto na dun sa pangangailangan nila that time. So ganun po, depende po sa inyo kung ano po yung option na magiging mas maganda para sa inyo. And parehas po silang may cash gift and pension increase after the 5th year. Kung meron pong 15 years na PPP, pataas si retiree. Sa computation po, dahil po dun sa case ng College of Med na may anong tawag dito? Part-time services, ano po? Hindi ko po ma-advise sa inyo yung GSIS Touch. Pero kung wala po kayo ng part-time services or siguro kung konti lang or maliit lang yung part-time services ninyo, ma-approximate nyo kung makikita nyo sa GSIS Touch yung record nyo. Nandito po kasi sa GSIS Touch yung pwede tayo mag-tentative ng retirement ng cash surrender value natin or termination value, yung service record po natin para makita po natin kung updated. And then yung mga available loans or yung loans na nakuha natin before at yung existing na loans na meron tayo. So kung yung iba naman po, pwede naman po kung hindi nyo gamitin for tentative computation para lang din po makita yung record. Para po kung meron dapat i-update prior po ng inyong retirement, pwede po tayong magpa-update. Meron din po tayong kiosk. Alam ko meron po sa PGH, sa HR. Dati po doon ako pumupunta. Meron din po dong kiosk. Tapos sa mga ibang malls po at sa ibang LGUs, meron pong kiosk. Pwede rin pong mag-email. Ito pala. gsisncr@gsis.gov.ph ang email address po. gsisncr@gsis.gov.ph. Pag may naiwan pong loan yung isang retiree, pwede pong i-avail itong parang restructuring ng kanyang loan. No? Yung portion ng retirement benefit niya, magde-deduct po ng loan Tapos yung remaining po is i-deduct sa monthly pension. So available po ito para sa mag-option 2 or yung immediate pension. Disability retirement, meron din po tayong disability retirement para sa mga merong total loss of earning capacity. So yung hindi po, pwede pong hindi siya umabot ng retirement age niya, pero nagkaroon siya ng total disability. Meron din po siyang, magkakaroon din po siya ng pension. Pero yun nga po, dapat po mayroong total loss of earning capacity. So yung qualification po, kung magko-qualify din sa PTD ay i-recommend po ng medical doctors ng GSIS. So yung medical officers po natin sa GSIS ang mag-i-evaluate kung magko-qualify dito sa retirement na ito. Paano po kung hindi na-meet yung 15 years na service and then hindi pa po 60 years old nung umalis sa service? So meron pong tatlo. Kung si member po ay, yung una po kung si member po ay merong 3 years ng service pero less than 15 at wala pa pong 60 years old, meron po siyang one-time cash payment. So, ayan po ulit yung AMC, yung average monthly compensation for the last 36 months, 100% po nun, imumultiply dun sa periods with paid premiums. Pero ito po ay payable at age 60. And the next po, second, meron pong at least 3 years sa service, less than 15 years, at 60 years old na po siya. So ito po ang pagkakaiba niya dun sa una ay 60 years old na siya. So same computation po, cash payment, one-time cash payment, 100% ng ating AMC times PPP. Payable na po sa kanya dahil 60 years old na po siya. So payable upon separation. Then yung last po, at least 15 years of service and below 60 years old. So meron po siyang cash payment na 18 months. At yung pension po niya mag-start at age 60. So dito po sa last, sa third, ang difference po niya sa retirement is wala pa siyang 60 years old. So 18 months po muna and then maghihintay po ng age 60 para po magkaroon ng pension. So may mga cases po na halimbawa po dun sa una, wala pa po siyang 15 years and below 60 years old, nag-separate. Umalis po ng government. Pero after halimbawa 2 years, bumalik po ulit sa government service. Dahil hindi pa naman po siya nababayaran kasi nga po ito ay cash payment, payable at age 60. Pag bumalik po siya sa service, yung pong services niya prior and yung magiging bago niyang services, i-add po iyon. Kaya possible pong umabot pa rin siya ng 15 years. Ang different naman po siya dun sa cash surrender. Kasi nga po, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, dalawa po yung makukuha. Yung life insurance and then yung sa retirement. So yung life insurance po natin, every time na nagkakaroon po tayo ng service gap, every time na umaalis po sa serbisyo, kinukuha po natin yun as cash surrender value. Pero yung sa retirement po, as long as nandito po tayo sa una, hindi pa po 60 at hindi nyo naman po pwedeng final nyo or hindi, pero dahil hindi pa po kayo nababayaran, wala pa nga pong 60, i-add po yung mga services na meron kayo kahit po merong gap. Pero kung nandito na po sa age, sa second line po, 60 years old, let's say meron pong 14 years na service, 60 years old siya, nag-claim na siya ng separation dahil 60 years old na siya, payable na po yun. So, makukuha na po niya pag nag-file siya. Pero po, hindi po siya nag-file. 60 years old siya, 14 years in service. Pagdating niya ng 61, bumalik siya sa government. So, let's say may 3 years siyang additional. So, yung 14 po, dadagdagan po natin ng 3 years kung hindi po niya final. Same din po dito sa last. Kung hindi po niya final ito, wala pa siyang 60 years old, bumalik siya sa government at tsaka siya nag-separate after 65th year niya, ina-add din po yun. Pero kung na-file niya po ito at meron po siyang nakuhang cash payment na 18 months, maghihintay po siya ng age 60, bumalik po siya sa government, another computation po yun. So back to 0 po siya. So meron po siyang, halimbawa po, 15 years na ng government service. Halimbawa, nag-start siya ng 20, yung madali po nating i-compute. 20, so yung 15 niya, 35, umalis siya sa service. Nag-file po siya nitong separation benefit. And then at the age of 40, bumalik po siya sa service. At yung 40 niya, naka-reach siya ng hanggang 65. So meron siyang bagong, from 40 to 65, 25 years. So meron po siyang dalawang computation ng pension. Okay po, liwanagin na lang po natin kung may question mamaya. Portability law, para po dun sa mga hindi magka-qualify sa pareho pong pension system natin, yung sa SSS at yung sa GSIS. So yung iba po, ang sa SSS po kasi is 10 years lang na contribution ang kailangan para makapag-pension. So kung hindi po na-reach yung 10 years sa SSS, hindi rin po na-reach yung 15 years sa GSIS, pwede pong gamitin yung totalization scheme para po makapag-pension sa GSIS. Tapos yung, hindi ko lang po alam kung ano po yung benefit na ibibigay na katapat ng SSS dun sa kanila. Pero yun po, sa GSIS po, as long as hindi po overlapping, ano po yung overlapping? Kung habang nasa service po kayo, nagbo-voluntary contribution kayo sa SS, yun, hindi po natin makakount yun. Pero let's say, bago kayo pumasok sa government, meron kayong SSS contribution. Yun po yung pwede nating idagdag para po makaabot kayo sa 15 years. Pero yung contribution po natin sa premium payment natin sa GSIS, yun pa rin po ang gagamitin for computation ng ating pension benefit. Meron pong inaalaw ang civil service na extension up to 2 years kung hindi po na-complete yung 15 years na services at 65 na, no? Tapos, konting-konti na lang. Iba kasi naka 14.5, 14.8. So, inaalaw naman po ng civil service yung extension just to complete yung 15 years para lang mag-qualify sa ating retirement benefit. Kung meron pong sick leave without pay, ngayon po ginagamit na po namin yun. Kasi po yung sick leave without pay po, ang leave without pay in particular, is nababawas po yan dun sa total length of service. So kung sick leave naman po ang ating ang cost ng ating without pay na leave, pwede po namin niyang gamitin. Halimbawa po, 14.8 po ang total length of service. Tapos yung palang nakabawas dun sa kanyang 15 years is sick leave without pay. So gagamitin po namin yan, naka-reflect naman po yan sa service record ninyo. Gagamitin po namin yun para po maging 15 years yung kanyang length of service at mag-qualify po sa retirement benefit. Sa survivorship benefit, daanan lang po nating mabilis. Meron pong benefit na nakukuha ang ating primary beneficiary. So spouse po, minor dependent, incapacitated. Ang transfer of pension po sa spouse ay for life as long as hindi po nag-remarry, wala pong kinakasama. So for life po siya. Tapos yung minor po hanggang doon sa last day ng kanyang pagiging minor, and then yung incapacitated din po, for life din po siya. Funeral benefit po, sa ngayon po, 30,000 po para sa ating pensioners and members. Para po sa magre-retire na, ang sinasuggest po namin ngayon, 2 months po before ng ating retirement, pwede po tayong magpa-update na ng record. So, pwede po kayong mag-request ng service record ninyo. Tapos MRF lang po, nada-download po siya sa GSIS website and meron din po sa HRDO. Isasubmit lang po, pwede nyo pong ipasubmit kay Sir Leo Gongora. Tapos po, i-update po nila ang inyong ang membership record, and then papareconcile po natin ang inyong accounts. So, premium payments and loan payments. Para po, pagdating po ng ating retirement, konti na lang po ang ating i-update. So, 2 months before po, pwede na pong 3 months pala nakalagay dito. 3 months before, pwede pong reconcile ng record and premium payments. Tapos yung pag-file po, 2 weeks po before ng date ng retirement, pwede naman po mag-file ahead. 2 weeks before po. Wag lang po mas maaga pa doon. Tapos ang requirement po is application form. Pinakita po ni Sir Derek kanina, yung application form. Isa lang po ang application form ng ating retirement at cash surrender value or termination value. Then service record po, na meron pong certification ng leave without pay. And yun nga po, special po yung sa College of Medicine. Meron pong certification ng kung may part-time or wala. Nag-usap na po kami nung nandyan po ako nung June ni Sir Derek. Alam na po nila yun. Kapag nakita nilang College of Medicine, pag nag-prepare sila ng service record, kasama na po yun sa ipapasa nila, isasubmit. Kung ipapasubmit through HR yung application, alam na po nila yung mga dapat nilang isubmit. Pero kung kayo po mismo yung nagpa-file, kung gusto niyo pong kayo mismo yung nagpa-file, pwede rin naman po. Pero yun nga po, para po sigurado na kompleto yung ating isasubmit, ipa-check niyo po sa HRDO kung okay na po yung inyong application form. Tapos yung last po, yung pendency po, ito po yung last na isasubmit once na ni-notify na kayo ng GSIS na okay na po, ipa-notarize nyo po itong declaration of pendency or non-pendency. Nakalagay lang naman po dito kung meron po ba tayong pending case or wala. Pero kailangan po, hintayin nyo po yung notice from GSIS. Usually po tumatawag or nag-text and may mail din po. SOP po na may kasamang mail na pinapadala na pwede na pong mag-file nitong Declaration of Pendency and Non-Pendency. Gaano po kabilis ang ating processing ng retirement? So kung kumpleto po yung ating sinabit na application, ang commitment po namin is 20 working days. Pero yun nga po, para po dun sa iba na nakikita ko nag-file po ng reconciliation ahead ng kanilang retirement date, pagdating ng retirement, mas mabilis pong napaprocess. So sa experience ko po, as fast as 6 days natatapos po namin. Ang kadalasan lang po nagkakaproblema na papansin ko, yung may mga services sa iba't ibang agency. So possible po, kino-coordinate po ng membership namin sa GSIS yung mga record niya with other agencies para maayos po ng talagang lahat naka-reflect doon bago natin i-process ang retirement benefit. Tapos yung iba po kung may mga discrepancy po sa date of birth, sa pangalan. So yun po yung mga nakikita kong kadalasan kung bakit tumatagal. Ang ginagawa naman po ng membership dyan, usually nag-i-email po sila kung ang magko-comply po ay agency, mag-i-email sila sa agency and then nakasisi naman po kayo dun po sa email address na inilagay nyo sa application form. Yun pa po pala importante, no? Dun po sa application form, ilagay po natin yung latest nating email address and contact number kasi yun na po yung pinakamabilis na paraan para makontak kayo. Just in case meron pong mga kulang, may discrepancy po or may mga dapat pa pong i-submit para po mas mabilis ang communication. Makakapagpalit pa po ba ng ating retirement option? So meron pong iba, no, hindi pa po talaga decided pero nag-submit na. Pero pwede pa pong magpalit ng option as long as hindi pa po nababayaran ng retirement benefit. So pwede pong mag-letter kayo na nagpapapalit po kayo ng retirement option. Halimbawa 5-year lump sum to immediate pension na lang. Basta wala pa pong na-i-credit sa inyo na retirement proceeds. Paano pong mag-file? Pwede pong postal mail or sa mga courier natin. Yung email po, pwede pa rin pong mag-email pero kailangan pa rin po namin ma-receive yung original application. Tapos, pwede nyo pong ipasubmit yun nga po kay Sir Leo Gongora. Alam ko po sa HR pinapadaan para sila po ang mag-submit dito. And pwede rin pong personal po, face-to-face po na submission. Ito lang po ihahabol ko yung ating appear. Once pensioner na po, dun po sa mag-opt ng 18 months and then pension immediately. Once a year po sa inyong birth month, kailangan nyo pong magpakita sa GSIS. So pwede pong online, pwede pong sa kiosk, pwede rin pong personal sa mga GSIS branch. Halimbawa po, nasa province kayo, may GSIS na malapit doon, pwede rin po kayo magpakita doon. Personal appearance lang po. Revalidation lang po ng ating pensioner ay siya po talaga yung nakaka-receive pa ng kanyang monthly pension. Para naman po dun sa nag 5-year lump sum, after 5th year po, magpe-pension na kayo monthly, magsasubmit po kayo ng commencement of pension sa GSIS. Halimbawa po, ang end ng 5-year lump sum nyo ay, ano ba ngayon? Halimbawa po, September. September ang end ng inyong 5-year lump sum. September po, bago po matapos ang September, pwede na po kayo mag-submit ng commencement of pension para po makreatean kayo ng record nyo as pensioner na. Para starting October, magma-monthly pension na kayo. And then, magkakaroon na rin po kayo ng appear. So during yung 5 years po na period, wala pa po kayong appear nun kasi na-advance nyo naman na po yung inyong pension. So after po nun, commencement po ng inyong pension and then meron na rin pong annual appearance. So birth month po ito, any day po ng inyong birth month, pwede nyo pong gawin. kapag hindi po nakapag-appear, halimbawa po ngayon pong August ang birthday ninyo, hindi po nakapag-appear ng August, by September po isususpend po ang pension. And then kung let's say makapag-appear naman po ng January na, yun naman pong months na nasuspend, ay makikredit pa rin naman po iyon. Ang importante po, may annual appearance po. Tapos meron din po tayong milestone benefit as of September 2015. Ito po yung amount sa mga nag-90, 95, and 100 years old na old age pensioner lang po. Hindi po kasama ang survivorship. So 20,000, 30,000, and 50,000. Ang appearance po natin, ang pensioner abroad po, through Skype po ang kanilang personal appearance. Pero yung nandito po, yun nga po, sa ngayon wala pa po tayong home visit and hospital visit, pero meron naman pong online. So pwede pong sa Viber, pwede pong sa Messenger, tapos pwede pong mag-report sa GSIS or sa kiosk. Okay, hindi na po natin kasama to. Ngayon po meron din po sa may GSIS Touch na facial recognition. Hindi ko pa lang po alam kung paano siya ginagawa. Pero yun po, meron po. Baka po by the time na kailangan nyo na mag-appear, mas okay na or mas enhanced na yung facial recognition dun sa ating GSIS Touch na application. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cruz, for that very informative talk. If you have any questions for our first two speakers, please feel free to use the Q&A box or scan the QR code in the right lower corner of the screen. The open forum will start after the fourth speaker. Our third speaker is the Vice Chancellor for Administration of UP Manila. She will be talking about the retirement process for faculty members, how to prepare to maximize rank and salary promotion prior to retiring. Please join me in welcoming Vice Chancellor Arlene A. Samaniego.
Good morning. I'm here to present to you some tips on how to prepare in order to maximize rank and salary prior to your retirement. Life of a faculty in the university starts with your appointment as a member of the faculty. Papers will emanate from the department where you are applying for, and these papers are submitted to the college academic personnel committee. They will deliberate on this, and if they will recommend you, then they will submit these basic papers plus other required documents to the Human Resource Development Office. The HRDO will check the completeness of the documentary requirements and will send these documents to the budget office for budget clearance. Then when it is cleared, when funding is given, then it is submitted by the budget office to the Academic Personnel and Fellowship Committee of the university, who will deliberate on your application. And when they endorse it, it will be sent to the Chancellor for her approval. Salary grades 1 to 25 is approved at the level of the Chancellor. Salary grades 26 and above are sent to the Board of Regents through the Office of the President for their approval. Once approved, the appointment papers are sent out by the HRDO to the person concerned, to the college, and one copy is kept in the HRD office. Faculty members entering the College of Medicine are either appointed as either assistant professor or associate professor. This has been approved at the CAC meeting last March 2022. But even before this, the entry level to the College of Medicine has already been upgraded to the level of either assistant professor or associate professor. So this is the matrix that shows what your entry rank will be if you have the following credentials. If you are a non-MD, but with MA or MS or master's degree, with at least one publication as co-author, then your entry level is as assistant professor 1. But if you are a graduate of Doctor of Medicine, no residency, no fellowship, you should still have a publication as co-author, then you are appointed as assistant professor 3. If you are a graduate of Doctor of Medicine with residency, with either or no MS, MA, or master's degree or PhD, then you are appointed as associate professor 1. But you should have a publication as sole or lead author. You become an associate professor 2 if you have a fellowship on top of your residency training, and if you are an MD with PhD, or if you are an MD plus residency plus MS or MA or master's degree. You become an associate professor 3 once appointed if you have all this MD, residency, fellowship, MS, MA, master's degree, or PhD. In all of this, you are appointed as associate professor only when you have a publication as sole or lead author. Now, when you get appointed as assistant professor or as an associate professor or even as a professor, there is a certain period which is probationary, which means you are temporarily appointed and you have to be renewed every year. As assistant professor, the probationary period is only 3 years. As associate professor, you may be given tenure within 2 years from the date of your appointment. And as a professor, you may be given tenure within the year from the date of appointment as professor. What does it mean? You have 3 years. If you are appointed as assistant professor, you have 3 years to comply with the requirements for you to be given tenure. Tenure means you become a permanent member of the faculty. If you are a part-time faculty member, these 3 years are doubled. So you have 6 years to complete the required achievements for you to be given tenure. If you are an associate professor, you have only 2 years to comply with these requirements. And what are these requirements for you to be given tenure? The general criteria for tenure includes the 3 functions of a faculty. For the assistant professor rank, you should have at least satisfactory teaching evaluation. And you should be able to show publication in a refereed journal, at least one, as lead or first or sole author, local or international or academic publication. For example, recently published, that is within the past 5 years by a recognized publisher. For associate professor and professor ranks, if you have a PhD or equivalent degree, then that's okay. You should show greater evidence and body of work of sustained scholarship, like quantity and quality of publications or equivalent creative work, plus teaching excellence. In addition, there must be a record of service to the university and the larger community. Departments expect tenure-track faculty to engage in committee work and public service. These are the 3 main functions of a faculty. teaching, di ba? We are also expected to do research and publish and show publications preferably in refereed journal or peer-reviewed publication. And we are also expected to do extension and public service, like committee works in the department, in the college, at the university level. Professional growth and development comes naturally when we do all these three functions of a faculty. We may be given an award as an outstanding teacher, or we can be appointed as a scientist along the scientist productivity system, or other awards that come our way because we are teaching excellently, we have research and publications, and we have public service to the community or to the university. Failure to satisfy the requirements for tenure will mean dropping from the rolls unless a waiver is approved and the faculty is given 6 months to 1 year to come up with a publication. We should know that our probationary period is either 2 years or 4 years. We should be aware so that we can prepare to get our tenure. Otherwise, if we don't comply, what is the requirement? A publication as a sole or lead author, first author, in a refereed journal within the past 5 years. If we are not able to comply with this, then we will no longer be renewed unless we apply for a waiver. So if months before our probationary period is reached or is terminated or is ended, then we should write the university officials to grant us a waiver on the tenure or out rule so that we will be given 6 months to 1 year to comply. Otherwise, we will be dropped from the rolls. We can be reclassified as a lecturer and then reapply as a faculty member. When we reapply, then we become again a probationary faculty member. But then again, if we re-enter after we are reclassified as a lecturer, then the requirements are more stringent. They will look for a sole or lead authorship of our publication before we get reappointed. So it's better that when we get appointed, we already prepare in getting our tenure. Now, after we get our tenure, then let's work on our promotion. Tatlo lang naman ang hinihingi sa atin ng universidad. We teach, we do research and publish, and we do public service to the university, to the country, and at international level. Okay? And yung professional growth na kasama sa mga criteria that are counted for our promotion comes when we do our teaching, research, and public service functions. So teaching, hanapin nila yung SET results. Ano yung SET results? Ito yung student evaluation results. Student evaluation of teaching, advising, mentoring graduate students, binibigyan nila ito ng mas malaking puntos as compared to mentoring of undergraduate students. Lalo na kung nakapagpa-graduate tayo ng graduate student na tayo ang advisor. Research, we should work on this because right now the university is really counting on the publications that we can show them. Public service, hinungod, committee work, when the university officials ask you to help them in some extra functions, then do so. Because when you do these things, these additional functions, it's also going to add to your credentials and it's going to add to your learning experiences. Of course, if you have PhD, then that will count. The years of service to the university will also count, and they will still also consider the year of your last promotion. In the science and technology cluster, this is a sample of a comparative comparison of how they gave a step promotion to the faculty members. For example, in 2021 sample, 3 steps were given to a faculty with 4 indexed and 2 peer-reviewed publications. When he and in addition, he was an advisor to 2 PhD or 6 masters and 1 BS student. 2 steps, kung mas kaunti ang kanyang accomplishment, 1 step, kung isa lang ang index publication niya, advisor to BS students. Pag associate professor, mabibigyan ng 3 steps pag may 3 indexed and 1 peer-reviewed publication, advisor to 5 masters and 5 BS students, and panel member to 1 PhD or 3 masters and 3 undergraduate students. 2 steps, pag meron siyang index publications and advisor to 2 master's students or a panel member to 2 master's students. 1 step, pag 1 index publication, ang advisor niya, advisor siya to only undergraduate students. Okay. Sa professor level, they are given 3 steps if they have more indexed and more peer-reviewed publications, and they are advisors to more graduate students. And that goes down the line. So if you look at the criteria that was used in the 2021 faculty promotion, they look at the advising that you do to graduate students. Pwede rin namang advising to BS or undergraduate students, pero dapat mas marami. Yung mentoring natin is not parang mas maliit ang points na binibigay when it comes to the promotion criteria. Dapat siguro pag-isipan ng kolehiyo kung paano mas mabibigyan ng puntos yung mentoring natin ng undergraduate students. So, promotion is one thing, crossing ranks is another. We can be promoted within the ranks. For example, napasok tayo ng assistant professor. Pwede, assistant professor 1 or assistant professor 3. Pwede tayong ma-promote within the ranks kung bibigyan tayo ng step promotion hanggang assistant professor 7. Pag naka-reach ka na ng assistant professor 7, dapat ang aim mo, mag-cross rank ka na to associate professor. Kung associate professor ang entry level mo at na-promote ka within the ranks up to the level of associate professor 6 or associate professor 7, then you should already aim to cross rank to professor level. And what should you do to be able to do this? Yun pa rin. Teaching, scholarly creative work or research and publication, public service and extension service, plus the professional growth. Sa professional growth, wala tayong problema sa College of Medicine. Public service and extension service, hindi rin natin yung problema. Teaching, lalong hindi problema. Pero yung ating research and publication, yan siguro ang dapat pagtrabahuhan ng lahat para maka-cross rank. Dati kasi, hindi sila masyadong tumitingin sa research and publication. Pero nitong past decade, talagang binigyan na nila ng importance yung research and publication para maka-cross rank ang faculty. That's why there are a lot of colleagues who have retired but have failed to cross ranks. So, ano dapat ang babantayan natin? When we get appointed, tignan natin kaagad ang tenure para hindi tayo ma-tenure or out. Pag tayo ay nakbigyan na ng tenure, let's work on our promotion. Pag na-promote na tayo, wag nating pabayang ma-stuck tayo sa assistant professor level lang or associate professor level lang. Let's aim to cross the ranks up to the next level. So, this is the summary of the minimum expectations. One should possess a graduate degree or equivalent terminal degree. Tayo sa College of Medicine, maraming na-push na ma-promote, na ma-cross rank. Binilang lang talaga yung research, yung publications. We should maintain an excellent teaching record, very satisfactory or outstanding in our SET, student evaluation of teaching. Maintain an active publishing career. Let's get involved in thesis or dissertation advising. Let's continue being a role model and mentor in teaching, research, and public service. And let's maintain active involvement in unit, CU committees, and activities. Let's participate in public service or perform well as an administrator. And let's maintain our academic integrity and our professional ethics. So, na-promote na tayo, na-cross ranks na tayo, sagad na tayo. Sagad means we are at the topmost level of our faculty life, of our faculty career. That's Professor 12, salary grade 29, step 8. Wala nang pupuntahan unless maging university professor tayo or magkaroon tayo ng Lingkod Bayan Award na mabibigyan tayo ng isang equivalent salary grade step na magiging salary grade 30 or 31 tayo. Pero as faculty, ito na yung pinaka-max. In the past, the university, whenever there was a call for promotion, they also considered the sagad faculty members. In the recent past, they've also counted the number of publications. They've also looked at the teaching evaluation, and they've also looked at the public service and extension service for them to give the equivalent benefit for which they call Sagad Award. Years ago, pare-pareho ang Sagad Award. Kung 30,000 yan, 30,000 sa lahat ng Professor 12, salary grade 29, step 8. The last time the past administration gave a Sagad Award to Professor 12 faculty members, they counted the 3 criteria plus the professional growth and gave 10,000 per step with a maximum of 7 steps because it was I think 7 years ago when they last gave a Sagad Award. So hindi na automatic na. Kung 70,000 yung maximum, hindi na automatic na lahat 70,000. You also have to work for the maximum 70,000. And what do they count? Publications, teaching evaluation, public service and extension service, plus your professional growth and development. So, marami tayong part-time sa College of Medicine. Sana, mga 3 taon o 5 taon bago kayo mag-retire, mabigyan kayo o makapag-apply kayo ng isang full-time na appointment. Bakit? Malaking bagay yan. Hindi lang sa GSIS, kundi pati doon sa quote-unquote bonus na binibigyan ng UP sa mga faculty members. Ano to? Ito yung Faculty Cumulative Leave Benefit. And what is this faculty cumulative leave benefit? We are given 15 days for every year of service from the time we got appointed up to the time we reach compulsory retirement, provided we are full-time faculty members. So kung part-time, hindi mabibigyan. Because yung BOR approval specifically stated na hindi kasama ang part-time faculty members ng College of Medicine. Sana in the future, maipa-amend natin ito at maisama ang part-time faculty members, maski mabigyan ng half of the FCLB. Malaking bagay din na maging full-time kayo bago mag-retire. Because yung GSIS, ika-count nila yung years of service ninyo kung part-time kayo at nag-serve kayo ng 25 years. Iha-half nila yon at ang magiging creditable years of service nyo ay 12.5 years lang. Kung hindi kayo aabot ng 15 years as per GSIS, hindi kayo makakakuha ng pension. Hindi kayo makakakuha ng lump sum, gratuity pay. Ang mangyayari, i-reimburse lang sa inyo kung ano yung naibayad ninyo sa GSIS. Okay lang, part-time kayo kung maka 30 years or more service kayo sa university. If GSIS will divide that into 2, then you will still be qualified to receive gratuity pay and pension. Half na lang, because half din lang yung kinakaltas sa inyong GSIS premium payments. So, appointment, tenure, promotion, cross ranks, full-time. Kapag inofferan kayo ng faculty administrative position, tanggapin nyo. Kasi may mga additional benefits din naman ito. For every year that you serve as a faculty administrator, you get a 15 years vacation leave credit and 15 days pala, and 15 days sick leave credits na mako-commute nyo when you retire at the age of 65. Ka-count nila yan kung ano yun, kung ilan yung na-earn ninyo na leave credits at the time you retire from the university. Also, pag faculty na meron kayong years na part-time, entitled kayo to receive the expanded service recognition pay that is given to administrative staff and faculty administrators. Ano to? This is parang FCLB. 15 days for every year that you have served full-time as a faculty administrator. And you will get this when you retire at the age of 65. Okay, so yun yung mga tips ko para sa isang faculty member para ma-maximize yung rank and salary before your retirement. Gusto ko lang i-mention yung short lang, yung retirement process for faculty members. Ito yung mga benefits na makukuha ng retirees. GSIS lump sum and pension, terminal leave from DBM, Pag-ibig Provident Fund, FCLB from UP, ESRP from UP, and others like the co-op, etc. Okay, well, how's the process? First thing, if you are retiring, for example, in 2024, March of 2024, maski ngayon pa lang, sumulat na kayo ng letter of intent to retire. You send this through your department chair. The department chair will endorse this to the college dean. The college dean will endorse this to the chancellor, and the chancellor will approve this. Once it is approved, this is sent to the HRDO, and the HRDO will start the process of getting your clearance from the offices that we usually deal with. Okay? Kung wala itong letter of intent na to, lalo na, months na lang, or days na lang, magre-retire ka na, wala ka pang letter of intent, maghahabol ang clearance, ang university clearance mo. Siyempre, hindi naman lahat, yun lang ang ginagawa, di ba? So, kung 6 months or 6 months before meron ka ng letter of intent, merong time yung office to look at your accountabilities in their respective offices. Hindi niya lalakarin ng clearance. Ang HRDO na ang gumagawa niyan. Yan yung tinatawag naming one-stop shop. kami na ang nagsasabi sa mga opisina, itong faculty member na to magre-retire at this date, i-clear nyo na kung clear siya. Kung may accountability siya, pwedeng sabihan na natin siya. Okay? Pero at your end, alam niyo kung saan kayo may accountabilities. Okay? Settle all these accountabilities. Okay? So, lalo na sa accounting, sa PGH, sa library, yung research grant nyo, yung cash advance ninyo, yun yung mga usually mga accountabilities. Yung mga equipment na inisyu sa inyo, dapat iayos nyo na yon na mai-transfer na to somebody else bago pa kayo mag-retire. So ito yung mga critical offices na usually maraming accountabilities tayong magre-retire. Accounting, property, library, PGH, kung may mga IOU tayo sa PGH, etc. Pero ito, dinadala na lang binibigay na sa HRDO kung cleared kayo. Kung meron kayong accountability, then sasabihan kayo ng HRDO to settle such. But if you know on your own na meron kayong accountability and you fix it right away, then lalong mas madali yung pagbibigay ng clearance sa inyo. Number 3 tip, before you retire, check your service record. Request for a copy from HRDO through UIS. You can do this very easily, and they will give you a copy of your service record. Check it very well. And I advise that you enroll with EGSIS mo. Ano tong EGSIS mo? Punta lang kayo dito sa address na to. You just need your GSIS business partner number na makukuha nyo, marirequest nyo sa HRDO. So pagpunta nyo sa page nila, click sign up, enter your BP number and date of birth, confirm. And then you just go through the prompts that will appear. Ano ang makikita nyo sa EGSI? Okay, you can also watch the YouTube if you want to, para malaman nyo kung paano mag-enroll sa EGSIS mo. Ano makikita nyo dito? You can check your service record that HRDO has submitted to GSIS. You can validate with HRDO your concerns about your service record. Be sure date of original appointment, movements like promotion, leave without pay, secondment, special detail are all correct. And also be sure the salaries are correct. Ask HRDO the meaning of all the acronyms that appear in your service record. Part-time means, PT means part-time. It doesn't mean permanent. Ito, malaking pagkakamali ko to. Kaya nagkanda delay yung aking retirement benefit. Kasi all the while, akala ko yung PT is permanent. Nung pala, part-time. E never naman akong naging part-time. Kaya inayos pa, nireconcile pa lahat. I have to call the appointment papers that were given to me whenever I moved up para makita na talagang full-time ako all the time. So you better look at your service record and check and confer with the HRDO the meaning of all those things that you don't understand in it. Okay? Fourth tip, SALN. SALN, gumagawa tayo niyan every end of the year. Pero halimbawa, magre-retire tayo ng January 2024, gumawa tayo ng as of December 31, sinubmit natin. Dapat gumawa ulit tayo as of our retirement date, which is our birth date. So dalawa yan. Year end, kung halimbawang nag-submit ka February 15 or April 15, magre-retire ka May or June, gagawa ko ulit ng SALN. Sasubmit mo rin yan sa HRDO. Ito pa, lahat tayo as public health worker, we're supposed to get one salary grade adjustment 3 months prior to our compulsory retirement. Be aware of this and check if this is implemented in your case. Hindi naman natin sinasabing hindi yan ginagawa for all. Ginagawa naman yan for all. Kaya lang kung minsan, sa daming ginagawa, minsan hindi ganun ka-vigilant, baka may ma-miss. O kaya, pagka-retire ka na, hindi pa na-adjust. O makaka-delay pa rin yon sa computation ng retirement benefits mo. Okay? So be aware of this and check with HRDO or with your AO if this has been implemented in your case. Itong certificate of non-pendency, ito ibig sabihin lang nito wala kayong pending case with the university. You are asked to fill this up and required to submit to HRDO together with all your other retirement papers. But when you are cleared already by GSIS, you are requested to submit this to GSIS. Kayo na mag-submit ulit through our liaison officer in the college. Kasi baka hindi na isubmit ng HRDO or hindi alam ng HRDO na cleared na kayo at kailangan na nilang isubmit. So, coordinate with HRDO or ask our liaison officer to submit this. Ano to? Certificate of non-pendency by our legal officer. Okay? So I think that's it. Goodbye tension, hello pension, happy retirement to all retirees. I hope I've been helpful and thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Samaniego, for your very comprehensive talk. If you have any questions for our speakers, please feel free to use the Q&A box or scan the QR code in the right lower corner of the screen. The open forum will start after the fourth speaker. Our fourth speaker is a thoracic cardiovascular surgeon who is a retired professor of the UPCM. Many of us know him as the former director of the Philippine General Hospital. Today, he will be sharing his experience on retiring from the UPCM, difficulties encountered, and how to avoid them. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Jose C. Gonzalez.
At 75, on retiring from UPCM. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Getting old and retired can be very stressful, and no one should be without it. Plan for your future well ahead of time. No one wants to work until they die, and one should not have to. Planning for the future involves maximizing your earnings, forced savings and boosting your savings, and budgeting so you can have the life you want to later before getting sick, disabled, and dying. Our profession having a fulfilling, healthy retirement is something well within our reach. As long as you avoid a few common mistakes, vices, expensive sports, gambling, and extramarital relationships. Waiting until 65 to retire? You cannot retire until you are 65. The timing of your retirement should be based around your savings, goals, well-planned needs, and rational priorities, not date of your GSIS retirement date. Know your retirement age is flexible, and retirement planning is ultimately about values and priorities. How do you want to live your life? Your standard of living, where, with whom, what is most important to you, what will make you happy. Your goal, retirement age can be anywhere from 50 to 65 or never. The important part is to set a goal age to retire that fits with your life. Then you can make retirement plan to get you there. You are too young to worry about retirement. Basically, money invested over time will grow exponentially. Yet, too many people fail to understand exactly how much this can make your money grow. You need to invest in a balance of commercial land banking, stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. These things provide passive income, building up your bottom line without you having to deny any additional work. Investing takes time. Someone who starts planning for retirement with its initial earning at 30 will have decades more of compounded interest accrued than someone who waits until they're 50, when their children are done with their education. It is never too late. Starting to think about retirement at any age is better than not planning at all. But ideally, you should start planning when you get your first income. Job retirement benefits. Know your retirement benefits and use them. We all have access to retirement benefits. Only a very small percentage use them. A huge mistake because you are leaving free money on the table. Take time to set up your retirement account and automatically have some of your paycheck deposited each month. You should be saving 10 to 15% of your gross income for retirement. UP offers to match the funds to contribute to your UP Provident Fund up to a certain amount. This is literally free money. Many people mistakenly believe they cannot afford to see the maximum match amount. I have found out that most people can probably budget to save more than what they think they can. This small sacrifice, delayed gratification, will pay off big time down the road. Contribute as much as you can reasonably afford. Remember, this is extra money they're just giving to you. Why turn down free money? Even if you work a job where you live paycheck to paycheck in the case of the PGH employee, you should still be trying to put aside a small amount of money towards retirement. If you're a wage earner, it is worth putting into Pag-ibig Retirement Investment Fund, which is tax-free. Factor in healthcare expenses. Don't deny yourself that you are not vulnerable to diseases and accidents. Everyone thinks they are going to be healthy forever. Nothing is forever. It is very difficult to predict who will need it, for how long and how much it will cost. Plus, we are living longer, and that increased lifespan comes with higher cost. The reality, medical care is actually one of the things that will cost you more when you retire. A lot of us dream and want to plan for a retirement of travels and retirement homes or home remodel while forgetting about cardiovascular catastrophe, cancer, dementia, and chronic conditions that must be monitored, like coronary artery disease. Take an honest look at your personal health risk factors and your family history. Do not forget the health of your immediate relatives or responsibilities. Right now, medical expenses alone during retirement can be 5 to 10 million pesos. Take also a long-term hospital care or in-home nurse. This long-term care is a different category than healthcare costs and living costs, and it gets expensive fast. Many of us don't include these calculations in our retirement budget, and I have seen these few abandoned people, our mentors. Separate force emergency fund and retirement fund. Do not touch your emergency fund. Look into every other options, getting a second temporary job, or asking family for help before you tap into this fund. Save some money in a traditional savings account that is not tied to any investments. Maybe 6 months of living expenses saved in emergency fund. It is not an investment. It will not increase the money, but it will not disappear if the stock market crashes. Risk assessment. Budgeting becomes even more important once you hit retirement. Look at how much your money you need currently to live comfortably. Then plan to save the difference between that and your Social Security benefits. Plus, do not forget your healthcare needs after retirement. Have a realistic expectations of the lifestyle you can afford in retirement. Come up with a frugal monthly and yearly budget to make sure you don't run out of money early. Remember, you cannot take it with you when you die. It is up to you to find the sweet spot of spending enough responsibly to enjoy your life while still anticipating future needs. It is hard to be a fortune teller. Continually reevaluate your budget, expenses, and projected costs. Any money saved is better than none. Do not underestimate inflation. It can make you save less than you really need. You also need to pay attention to how much things cost today versus how much they will likely cost in your retirement. Inflation can be unpredictable. To be well ahead of our national economies, I usually target for 5 to 10% inflation. Retiring as a multi-millionaire sounds great, but you won't feel like you are a multi-millionaire when you are retiring in 20 or 30 years. The goal of retirement saving is not necessarily to have you to live like a royalty, but to get by on around 80% of your pre-retirement salary. The stock market. Investing is inherently risky, and people have different levels of risk tolerance based on their personalities, life situations, planned career trajectory, family situation, asset, and other factors. For instance, someone with a large family and a little savings will want to invest their retirement funds in a low risk, but perhaps higher reward investments. Age is also a huge factor. It is not uncommon for younger people to have higher percentage of the retirement in higher risk investments and then gradually switch that over to lower risk accounts as they get closer to retirement age. Do not invest beyond your risk tolerance. Not only is this stressful, but the worst case scenario, it can wipe out all your savings. Read, read, read. Get a good retirement planning book. Then get at least 3 credible, independent certified planners who can help you assess what your risk and how much you can tolerate and which plan best matches you. A more individualized plan tailored to your goals. Relying too much on Social Security, GSIS, Social Security system. In government, GSIS is not optional. SSS is optional and voluntary. Social Security benefits are more modest than people realize. Do not make your entire retirement plan based on Social Security. I hope I'm able to help you as you prepare for your retirement. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez, for that interesting talk. At this point, we would like to call our 4 speakers to join us in the open forum. My co-host, Dr. Jerry Obaldo, will be asking the first question.
Hi, Dr. Gonzalez. Thank you very much for that uh, very nice talk, practical tips on how to prepare for retirement financially. I have some questions from before that I would like to integrate also. No, this question is partly from Professor Altura of microbiology. As a as past director of PGH, you probably have a slightly different experience in retirement compared to the average faculty member, no? Was it more difficult or less difficult for you to comply with the requirements? And were you able to get all the benefits that you were supposed to receive?
Good morning from Tagaytay. I don't rely on GSIS. And I have been giving lectures to PGH employees because they are the most vulnerable part in contrast to doctors. That's why I've been always telling them, GSIS benefit is there, but do an extra mile, submit yourself to voluntary contribution to SSS. Kasi the reason what I've noticed with PGH employees are, pagdating nila ng 65, because they have not taken care of their health, namamatay sila at the age of 65. That's the reason why I proposed to UP Manila during the chancellorship of Agulto to have a UP Manila insurance program, which we were able to do. Then subsequently, we had the PGH health insurance, 100,000 benefits per year, and this was copied by the University of the Philippines system. So it's really important to have those kind of benefits. I didn't have so much problem with retirement because I'm a clinician. I didn't rely so much on GSIS benefits because I know it's not adequate. Those things are not adequate for you to have a decent life when you reach the age of 65. So I made it sure, since I come from a poor family, I made it sure that I have enough savings that when I retire at 65, wala akong sama ng loob sa UP. No? So I hope I was able to answer your question. Not unless you have further questions to ask.
Yes, sir. Hindi naman kayo nahirapan, sir, sa requirements for retirement?
Hindi ako nahirapan sa requirements sa retirement. Nahirapan ako sa medical politics, which Arlene Samaniego is very conscious about that. I had problems because I was an administrative officer and medical politics will always play a role.
Okay, so to VC Arlene Samaniego, there were questions even before the webinar, no? So what age can we apply for retirement from Professor De La Vega of Medicine? And also other questions like how many SET, student evaluation, is required to apply for tenure? Also, is statistical advising for masters acceptable as mentoring or student mentoring?
Okay, yung statistical advising for master's thesis, that will be counted as part of all the others under extension service and the consultancy service. Kasi hindi naman yun advising talaga ng master's student na para mapag-graduate. It's on the thesis of that graduate student. Yun namang SET, dapat isubmit nyo lahat yung SET results nung lahat ng semester prior to your applying for a tenure or applying for a promotion. Hindi lang isa or hindi lang isang taon. Lahat ng SETs nyo for the past previous semesters that you have taught prior to your application. From the last promotion up to your application period.
Yes.
I hope I have answered.
Yes, yung advising fellows and residents for their research, yan, kasama yan, no?
Yeah, sana ma-institutionalize natin yan. Pero kasi, hindi na sila students, postgrad students, pero hindi naman din sila considered postgrad students. So I think the college has to fix that so that advising in the College of Medicine will get the higher points when they count for our promotion, for the promotion criteria.
Yes. It's part of our faculty load pero
Okay.
regarding promotion, I'm not sure kung how it is counted. No?
So probably the faculty, the Committee on Faculty and the Instruction in the College of Medicine can meet and come up with a policy on how this can be regarded.
Okay. Okay. For Miss Tin Cruz, yeah, I know you've been busy answering already, pero there is a common thread among the questions. Kasama ba yung part-time? Kasama ba yung non-permanent? No? Kasi many of us are like that kasama ba yung walang sweldo? I think pag walang sweldo, wala talaga, no? That's not counted. Pero what about yung temporary appointment namin? I was medical specialist, PGH nagsusweldo sa akin noon, which is renewed annually, no? Then late na rin ako na-appoint sa UP faculty as regular. So is that counted?
Ganito po. Iba-iba po kasi yung appointment, pero yung sa ngayon po na nakikita kong temporary appointment, as long as may plantilla po kahit part-time, meron po kasi ako nakikita na galing sa HR na appointment nakalagay is temporary appointment siya. Part-time.
Yes. Every year.
Pero parang part-time plantilla, parang ganon. So counted po yun, government service. Yung isa pong mga tinatanong kanina yung sa residency. So meron po kasing time noon na ang residency counted po siya sa government service pero wala pong premium contribution. So government service pa rin po. Ngayon po, meron na po siyang premium contribution. So government service with premium contribution na po siya. Tapos, yung pong isa pa yung without compensation, yun po talaga ay sa ngayon po, kasi po yan po yung ina-appeal nila, ma'am nila Chancellor nila, Ma'am Arlene Samaniego, no? Yan po yung nilalakad natin ngayon na ipa-approve na ang without compensation ay isama. So sa ngayon po, ang without compensation is hindi po counted kasi katulad po ng sinabi ko kanina, ang membership po natin is government employee na receiving fixed monthly compensation sa kanyang agency. So, hopeful naman po kami, no? Sana na hindi lang po kasi siya ganun kadali para i-recommend sa board ng GSIS na sa amin na po ngayon ang bola, nasa executive na po namin yung bola ngayon. Alam yan nila Ma'am Arlene kasi si Ma'am Nor, panay ang follow-up. So, sasagot po kami kung ano yung paano namin siya i-recommend sa board na i-consider yung without compensation. Pero dun po sa mga, parang same po siya sa magiging situation ng residency na without premium payments. So, kasama siya sa government service, just in case po ma-approve ito, no? Kasama siya sa government service, pero ang basehan pa rin po natin ng benefit is yung years na may paid premiums. So hopefully po pag na-approve, usually naman po yan, dahil nakatutok nga po ang UP Manila dito. At may listahan po sila tuwing magbi-meeting po, nakalagay po doon yung listahan ng mga faculty na affected. So malamang po ito pag na-approve, magiging project po namin to para balikan po tong mga listahan na to na hindi nag-qualify sa pension para naman ma-recompute ang ating retirement. Kaya lang yun nga po, hindi po kasi siya ganun kadali kasi ngayon po actually nasa legal pa po siya. Sila po ang binatuhan para mag-research kung paano po didepensahan ito sa GSIS board. Siyempre po bago po umakyat, gusto po ng executives namin nakalatag lahat at maintindihan din sa kanilang level pa lang para naman pag in-explain nila. Actually, ang maganda po ngayon, si VP Leia po is acting SVP po namin ngayon. Kaya talagang siya po mismo nag-follow up sa amin kung anong status nitong sa without compensation. So hopeful naman po kami na magagawa natin ng paraan ito. Pero yun nga po, sa ngayon po, hindi pa po siya kasama.
Yes, ma'am.
Tapos sir, yung part-time po, katulad din po ng sinabi ni Dr. Samaniego kanina. So para po ma-compute siya, paano to? I-convert siya sa full-time. So dahil ang part-time is 4 hours per day, kino-consider. So kung meron kang 30 years na puro part-time yon, magiging 15 years. So ganun po.
Well, clarify ko lang kasi this affects a lot of faculty, no? Ito yung series of questions kanina eh. Pati ako na rin affected nito, no? We work in 2 government institutions, parehong part-time, of course. And we are only allowed to have 1 policy ng GSIS, no?
Apo.
Yeah,
Sa
actually,
multiple part-time po, considered po siya na 1 full-time. Pero ang remittance po is nanggagaling lang sa isang agency.
which is kalahati.
Parang ganun po, opo.
Paano yung calculation po nung pension yun? Let's say, will that be considered as full-time na kasi ang hindi ko maintindihan actually bakit hinahati yung year serve eh kalahati lang naman yung sweldo mo. Why will you be required to serve parang twice, no? Imbis na 15 years, 30 years eh kalahati lang naman, no? Mathematically it doesn't make sense to me.
Doon po sa multiple part-time, ang alam ko po ay ginagawa na rin po ng paraan yan para i-consider po yung payment ng isang agency. Kasi po ang mangyayari po dyan, doon po sa computation po ng service, full-time siya. Pero tama po kayo, parang ang nangyayari po, dahil isang agency lang ang nagko-contribute, parang half siya. So sa ngayon po, yan po yung
parang
isang...
Parang alam ko, hahatiin pa yung year serve mo, which
hindi po,
very strange for a layman, no?
Sa multiple part-time po, wala na po tayong hahatiin.
Let's say 1 part-time lang, which also
yun doon
many
po.
of my colleagues also ganyan din eh.
Apo.
Sa 1/4 yung maano mo. No?
Apo, sa 1 part-time po tayo naghahati.
Okay.
Hahatiin po natin yung years ng service. Pero yung contribution po, yun na po yun. Tapos last 3 years din po yung AMC.
Okay. So I think yan yung mga paulit-ulit tinatanong. No? One question, ma'am, si Professor De La Vega. Kailan ba yung earliest daw pwede mag-apply for retirement? Age?
Age po. 60 po. Age po para po sa retirement benefit para po makapag-pension. Kapag lower po sa 60, separation po ang tawag natin doon.
Separation, okay. Okay, ano ko lang itong aking questions, ha?
Jerry, habang naghahanap ka ng questions.
Yes, sir.
As Director of PGH, ang initial employment ng faculty members is through medical specialists. So I studied all the faculty members without compensation. It takes 10 to 15 years para magkaroon ka ng employment. It takes 15 years kasi 10 to 15 years kang without compensation eh. So ang initial compensation will be through PGH, hindi through UPCM. So ganun ang nangyayari. Pero importante, bantayan mo yung records mo kasi pera mo yan. Huwag ka magre-rely sa human resource na magagawa nila lahat. Ikaw ang magbabantay. Kasi ikaw ang makikinabang, ikaw din ang magkakaroon ng problema later on. Sakit sa ulo yan. So bantayan mo yan.
Good morning, Dr. Gonzalez. There's also another question. Maybe you can also answer it. Is it too late for us to enroll in SSS now, since most of us will not qualify as GSIS pensioners? What do you think is this something that you can recommend?
Dapat kasi may 10 years contribution ka sa Social Security system eh. Kasi kung wala kang 10 years na magbabayaran, wala kang makukuhang benefits. So kailangan talaga 10 years ng Social Security voluntary contribution. Pero ang pinakamagandang benefit kasi ang GSIS, has a better benefit than Social Security kasi malaki ang government share sa iyong fund compared to the Social Security system. But importante kasi, start it early. No? Huwag ka mag-start kung kailan may sakit ka na. And the important benefit that I would like to strongly advise you is the Pag-ibig Provident Investment Fund. Kasi wala siyang withholding tax. Wala siyang 20% withholding tax na kinakaltas sa iyo ng gobyerno sa government bonds, sa private funds, sa mutual funds, sa stock market. Meron siyang withholding tax. I would strongly encourage you Pag-ibig Investment Fund. Malaki ang makukuha mo at maganda interest rate.
Yeah. Sir, what about
Sir,
yung
can I
mga,
ask?
like yung AXA and so on, they offer retirement funds eh. You mentioned something in your talk about it. Sulit ba?
Pag-ibig ka. If Social Security System and GSIS will have investment funds later on, pasukan mo yan. Pero yung mga insurance program, hindi mo dapat pasukan not unless merong kang pinoprotektahan na member ng wife mo, immediate members, yan, pwede. No? Pero kung hindi mo naman kailangan protektahan, but you want to use that money, if you are a good investor, no, you have to be very sure na marunong ka humawak ng pera at marunong ka mag-invest. Pero kung doktor ka na, umaasa ka lang sa sweldo, no, then magkakaroon ka ng problema. Kasi kailangan mo basa talaga on money matters.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. We have a special guest, Dr. Jonas Del Rosario. We encourage our participants to type in the Q&A box, but Dr. Del Rosario has been given permission to join and ask a question. Dr. Del Rosario.
Ay, magandang tanghali na ba sa inyo umaga? I'm actually in Washington, D.C. attending a conference, but it's very important. My question really boils down to some of us actually are employed as part-time consultants in two government institutions. No? For me, for example, I have been employed by the Philippine Children's Medical Center even before I also got a part-time position in PGH. So the question is, from what we were being told, sabi ni, I think was it Christine, that actually these two part-time positions can be counted as a full-time. No? So I guess but the policy is only one government institution is remitting premium. No? So ang question ko, why don't you just allow us to remit from our own salaries from these two institutions para counted as a full-time? Bakit isa lang ang pwedeng gamitin na government institution? When I asked GSIS, sabi nila, hindi, dapat pareho kang nagbibigay ng premium from PCMC and from PGH. So, meron bang meron bang miscommunication? Kasi baka mamaya sayang naman yung time na pwede rin kami magbigay ng premium. So, you count that as one full year, di ba?
Doon sa year, sir, wala na po siyang issue doon. One full-time na po
Yes.
siya kasi multiple part-time. Ang issue na lang po ngayon is yung contribution. And meron na rin pong nag-raise niyan dito. Sa ngayon po na sa decision na po ng executives kung paano po nila gagawin. Ano pong gagawin doon sa multiple
Contribution.
part-time. Opo. Pero sa ngayon po, yun po yung isa pa lang po na is contribution from one agency pa rin ang kino-consider. Kaya po, hindi ko po alam kung may nakausap na po kayo dito sa amin particularly kasi kami po ang may hawak ng load ninyo sa accounts namin. Kapag meron po nagtatanong dyan, kasi yung iba halimbawa nakapag-contribute na yung isang agency. So anong gagawin doon? So ang sinasuggest ng accounts namin is wag pa ring, kunin yung contribution ng isa. Kasi kung i-consider yan later on, dahil nasa executives na nga po yung decision sa ngayon, magagamit po natin yung mga contributions na yun. So sa ngayon po, wala po akong maisasagot sa inyo dahil nasa executive. Alam na po nila yan, nakaabot na po sa kanila yung mga inquiry. Lalo na po sa UP Manila po kasi talaga yung madami. Sa ibang agency, konti lang po kasi yung part-time eh. So marami na pong nag-raise nung issue tungkol dun sa multiple part-time na bakit isa lang na agency ang may contribution. So waiting lang din po kami kasi kami naman po ay nagpa-process lang based dun po sa existing guidelines sa ngayon. Pero pagka po nag-meeting na po ulit kami tungkol dun sa isa yun sa without compensation, i-raise na lang din po namin ulit iyan kung ano na pong status sa ngayon.
Jonas, actual experience ko dyan.
Yes,
Kasi
sir.
may part-time ako sa UP College of Medicine. May part-time ako sa hospital sa Quezon City. Yung GSI
Yes, sir.
contribution ko doon sa hospital na yon, I was asked by GSIS, ano ang pipiliin ko? UP College of Medicine employment o yung Quezon City Hospital employment ko? So ang pinili ko yung UP College of Medicine. So yung hospital contribution ko sa GSIS sa hospital na yon, isinoli sa akin. So I was just considered as a part-time kasi kailangan talaga ng Board of Directors resolution sa GSIS tungkol sa mga ganyang issues eh. No?
I see.
Yes.
Okay,
I
sir.
had
Salamat po.
experience, sir. Binalik ng GSIS yung pinaltas sa UP because nauna yung GSIS policy ko doon sa ibang hospital eh. So they returned the money. Anyway, for VC Samaniego, if you're around, this is a direct question for you, although I think you answered it already from Professor Joey La Peña of ENT. How else can a sagad professor maximize rank and salary promotion kung hindi na siya ma-extend beyond yung 29 years?
Yun na lang. May lingkod bayan award ka or merong kang maging university professor ka. Kasi as regular faculty, talagang hanggang doon lang tayo. So, kapag nagbigay sila ng Sagad Award, yun, meron tayong nakukuhang one time, pero wala na talagang promotion after salary grade 29 step 8. Unless when you get those two recognitions. And you're given either a one salary grade or two salary grade adjustment. Extension, pwede namang ma-extend, pero alam ni Jogon kung paano, kung gaano kahirap, walang sinisino yung ating kolehiyo o ating departamento, lalo na kung administrator ang na-extend o nare-request na ma-extend, kasi tinitignan nila primarily sa extension yung teaching function ng isang faculty. So you don't get extended because of an administrative position, but you get extended because of the functions that you do in teaching our students, residents, and fellows. So you can be extended up to age 70 actually, pero titignan din natin yung prudence ng pag-extend sa atin kasi kawawa naman yung mga nag-aantay ng regular item. Kung tayo yung gagamit hanggang age 70 ng ating item, kawawa naman yung mga nasa succession planning.
Yes, ma'am.
So yun lang po ang may sasagot ko kay Dr. Joey.
And to Miss Christine Cruz again, si Dr. Edna Go, dalawa daw yung government institution niya. Kinakaltasan siya pareho hanggang ngayon. So, should she inform GSIS?
Sir, bigay nyo na lang yung email address ko sa kanya. Tapos, mag-usap na lang kami direct. Tapos, banggitin ko rin po may tanong kanina yung sa portability, yung sa SSS, saka sa GSIS na pagsasamahin. Ganito po siya. Yung sinabi ko po kanina, wala pong overlapping dahil nga po, 10 years lang yung requirement sa SSS and then 15 yung sa GSIS. Kung hindi po umabot pareho doon, so halimbawa po 9 years lang sa SSS, then 14 sa GSIS. Sa GSIS po, ang gagawin namin, kukunin po namin yung year, yung 1 year niya para lang po ma-process. Yung year lang po ang gagamitin namin. Wala po kaming kukuning contribution sa kanila. Yung year lang po, idadagdag po namin dun sa 14 years niya para mag 15 years at mag-qualify sa pension. Tapos magpe-pension siya using po yung computation dun sa 14 years na may contribution siya. Tapos yung sa SS po, hindi ko na po masasagot kung ano po yung benefit na makukuha niya doon. Pero yun po yung pwede sa GSIS. Pero wala pong overlapping, hindi po pwedeng kasabay habang nasa government service. So kung prior po is meron siyang SSS contribution kasi nasa private practice po, then nag-government po, yun po ang pwedeng pagsamahin. Pero yung nasa government at dun lang din po yung SSS contribution niya voluntary, hindi po natin siya pwedeng gamitin sa portability. And isa lang pong nakita ko base po sa mga experience po ng mga retirees, no. Yung sa SSS po, tinutuloy nila kasi nga po maiksi lang po yung 10 years. So kayang-kaya pong kompletuhin. So kung meron pong 10 years SSS, meron pong 15 sa GSIS, dalawa po yung pension. Tapos kaya naman po bukod po sa syempre mas maganda po yung GSIS na pension, magiging maliit po yung sa SSS kasi po pag personal contribution, wala pong share ng employer. So yun po yung hindi maganda doon. Pero kung parehas po kayong magpe-pension, mas maganda po kung parehas pong mag-qualify dun sa SSS and sa GSIS. Tapos, share ko na lang din po yung sa nanay ko kasi pinag-continue po siya hanggang 68 para ma-complete niya yung 10 years. Kasi parang ang tagal niyang na nagtrabaho, dalaga pa siya, then nag-asawa, nag-stop. Tapos nitong late na niya na-realize na kailangan niya ng pension bukod dun sa magiging pension just in case from sa father ko. Pinayagan siya hanggang 68 na mag-contribute. So, ngayon nagpe-pension na siya from SSS. So, baka meron pong kaya pa po, umabot pa po, magsimula na pong mag-contribute ulit ngayon sa SSS.
Pero SSS yan, ma'am, hindi GSIS.
Opo, additional lang po kasi based po dun sa experience ng mother ko. Actually, yun po yung maganda naman sa SSS. Kasi sa atin po ngayon sa GSIS, wala po tayong voluntary contribution. Lagi pong through agency ang remittance natin. Sa SSS, pwede ka mag-volunteer na mag-contribute. So at least kahit po maliit, meron tayong magkakaroon po ng pension.
Okay. So any more questions? I think that's it, no? The slides will be posted, and if okay with all the speakers, the recordings will be also probably posted on the UP website, no? Kung okay lang kasi ang daming interest talaga eh. There was a lot of interest. It's very complicated even for us, no? Kaya I'm sure people would want to ask mga follow-up questions, no? So should we end the Q&A now, ma'am?
Are there any questions from the rest of the faculty committee members? So,
Vice ko, dapat mahaba ang iyong employment sa government. And the best way to have a very long tenure sa government is apply kasi pag clinician ka sa Department of Surgery ka mag-a-apply, it will take 10 to 15 years bago ka magkaroon ng salary. So mag-apply ka sa basic science sa College of Medicine kasi may employ ka kaagad, no? Or mag-apply ka sa NIH para meron ka kagad sweldo kasi kailangan mo talaga yung documentation na employed ka by the government to be able to remit your contribution to the GSIS, no? Ang advantage naman ng clinician kasi nakakapag-practice siya, di ba? Malaki ang kikitain mo. Pero kung ang kaligayahan mo is magturo, basic science or research, mag-apply ka doon kasi kailangan, pagtanda mo, kailangan mo yung GSIS benefits na yun eh. No? Pag clinician, hindi naman kailangan. No?
okay, so if there are no more questions, Dr. Jerry, we can proceed with the awarding of certificates of appreciation for our speakers. So let's present the certificates.
Okay, I would like to read. This is for.
There's an audio po. Ferdy, play the audio, please.
Oh, sorry.
Let us now proceed to the awarding of the Certificates of Appreciation. The certificate reads, the University of the Philippines Manila College of Medicine presents the Certificate of Appreciation to Mr. Derek Dempsey V. Palacio, Ms. Christine Deborah D. Cruz, Dr. Arlene A. Samaniego, and Dr. Jose C. Gonzalez as guest speaker in the webinar entitled UPCM Faculty Retirement, Understanding the Process and How to Maximize Retirement Benefits, held on August 29, 2023 via an online platform. Signed, Joycelyn Noemi I. Silao, MD, Chair of the Faculty Committee, Maria Lisa Antoinette M. Gonzalez, MD, Associate Dean for Faculty and Students, Abner L. Chan, MD, College Secretary, and Charlotte M. Chong, MD, PhD, Dean. Let us now give our speakers a round of applause. You may use the reaction button to give a clap or heart emoji. Before we end our webinar today, I would like to call on the Associate Dean for Faculty and Students of UPCM, Dr. Maria Lisa Antoinette M. Gonzalez, to give the closing remarks.
Good morning, everyone. Retirement is one of those major life milestones that mark the ending of one chapter and the start of another. It is not the end of living, but rather the start of new possibilities and exciting adventures ahead. We know that even our retired faculty continue to bring recognition to UP. For this morning's webinar on faculty retirement, I would like to thank all our esteemed speakers. Allow me to summarize the key points of their talk. Mr. Derek Palacio of the Leaves and Benefits section of the HRDO discussed the retirement process in UP Manila. He also discussed the retirement benefits and privileges of UPCM faculty. Our next speaker, Ms. Christine Cruz, presented the GSIS retirement laws and retirement benefits of UPCM faculty retirees. During her presentation, retirees are encouraged to coordinate with the HRDO regarding the documents that need to be prepared and submitted. This will be important, especially for those with part-time and full-time positions, as well as those with multiple agencies. Next is VC Arlene Samaniego, who reviewed the entry rank requirements of UPCM faculty and emphasized the importance of why faculty should work for tenure once appointed as regular faculty and why it is important to work for promotion in order to achieve the deserved rank. This is crucial in order to maximize rank and promotion prior to retirement. She also gave helpful tips on how to be familiar with the process of filing for retirement so we can be vigilant of our benefits. Dr. Jose Gonzalez described the experiences on retiring from the UPCM. Actually, Dr. Jogon remains active because he continues to serve as a clinical professor in the Department of Surgery. So Dr. Jogon emphasized that we need to plan for our future ahead of time, maximize our earnings, and live the way that we would like to. So Dr. Jogon emphasized the importance of planning early and to have realistic goals for the lifestyle that we aim for. So thank you to all of our speakers for sharing these invaluable insights, and to all our faculty retirees and future retirees, which includes all of us here. The college and university is grateful for what you have done and contributed and continue to contribute to UP. You have dedicated the best years of your lives serving in UP and have worked hard to teach, mentor, guide, inspire, and serve as a role model for our future generation of doctors. In giving your best, you also deserve nothing but the best as you retire. You deserve the acknowledgement and the due recompense that is in accordance with the pertinent laws and regulations that have been discussed. So we hope that through this webinar, we have somehow equipped our faculty with the knowledge that they will need to prepare for this chapter. The key word is prepare, because in order to make retirement enjoyable and to be able to do the things that we love to do, we will need to understand the processes and how to maximize the benefits. In other words, it is never too early to prepare. Lastly, I would like to thank the UPCM Faculty Committee, led by Dr. Joy Silao and Vice Chair Dr. Joy Novero, Past Chair Dr. June Carnate, our hosts for this morning, Dr. Mary Rose Mayos Peyan and Dr. Jerry Obaldo, and all the other members of the faculty committee for organizing this webinar on faculty retirement. We would also like to thank our support staff, Sheila Pascual, MJ Salumbides, and Ferdy Canon for their help during the preparation and throughout this webinar. Thank you once again for spending the morning with us, and I wish you all a good day.
Thank you, Associate Dean Gonzalez, for the closing remarks. This concludes our webinar on UPCM faculty retirement. We hope that you learned a lot about how to maximize your retirement benefits. On behalf of the UPCM Faculty Committee and my co-host Dr. Jerry Obaldo, this is Dr. Mary Rose Peyan. Thank you for joining us today. May we request the members of the committee and our speakers for today to please open their cameras, and then may we request Ferdy to please take a picture.
Hi, sir. Hi, sir. Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez, Dr. Jogan. You're on mute. You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah, magandang umaga sa Tagaytay.
Sir, malamig ba dyan?
Malamig, kaya dito ako nag-retire. Malapit lang siya sa UPCM. It takes me only an hour, 30 minutes. Sa gabi, it's 1 hour through Skyway and Calax. And I'm enjoying the weather, the vegetable, the fruits, the gardening.